Welcome to this video review, and today I'm going to talk about all the features and share my opinion on Pulsar Helion 2 XP50 Pro. So this is the latest addition to the Pulsar Helion family. As you probably know, the Helions were already introduced in 2016 and they were, I would say, a workhorse of Pulsar in the field of thermal scopes for the last 5 years. So the XP50 Pro is now the last and final model now in 2021. There will others will follow, I'm sure, but at the moment, in the beginning of 2021, this is the I would say the best model, the top of the range. What they basically did, they came out with Pulsar Helion 2 last year in 2020 XP50, which was basically the same as Pulsar Generation 1, only the sensor had a better NATD. So it had an NATD of 40 millikelvins, and compared to the Generation 1, which had 60 millikelvins of NATD. That means how sensitive the sensor is itself and how many details you're able to see. Now they came out with a Pro version, which in my opinion would have a better name if it would be called the Helion Generation 3 XP50, because there are so many new stuff on it. I have here the XP normal non-Pro model, Helion 2 XP, which will be sold at the same time as the Pro model. Just the price will get lower. So until now the XP50 costed 3,690 euros. Now the Pro will cost this amount, and the normal XP50 Generation 2 will cost 3,190, so 500 euros less. What changed? The lens changed. If you're able to see, the Pro model has a much bigger objective lens, and the aperture is also much faster. So its aperture is 1.f1. It's the aperture of the new lens, while the older one had a smaller lens of I think 42 millimeters. This is the first big change. The second change is the housing. The central part of the housing is now made out of magnesium, not plastic anymore. And because it's made out of magnesium, this whole metal part on the Gen 1, oh no, the Gen 2, but non-Pro, you can see how confusing the naming is already. It's now not necessary anymore. Also, the build quality is much nicer because the magnesium housings are nicer than plastic. Even though, honestly speaking, regarding robustness and reliability, this plastic housings in the last 5 years shown that they're extremely robust and almost impossible to break. The waterproofness stayed the sime, IPX7. Also, the batteries, the IPS 7 and 14 stayed the same. What also changed was the display. So we know that the Helion 2, the display was 640 by 480, and the same as the sensor. And honestly speaking, now in 2021, the new sensor, which is still AMOLED, still works down to minus 25 degrees Celsius. It's much bigger. It's 1024 by I think 700 something, much bigger sensor, so the image details are much better. Okay, if I put the non-Pro model aside, still roughly half a kilogram of weight, 22 centimeters of length, and about 6 centimeters in height and length and width. So it's not a really compact device, but you are not expecting it from such a workhorse like Helion is, because you buy this to use it. You buy it so that it works in all possible conditions, that it will never fail, and so on. The startup time is around 3 seconds, so it's really fast. It has a sleep mode. It can record videos. It's also has a possibility to connect it to a Stream Vision app, which is, in my opinion, still one of the best apps for thermal cameras on the market. This is also one of the reasons why Pulsar is such a I would say, market leader. They're really owning the whole market. I would say everybody else is just catching up with Pulsar. Nobody is leading the game except them. They're made in Lithuania. They come with 3 years warranty, even though in my experience you are able to count on servicing of your device even much longer than just for the period of warranty. We have instances where people are sending back 7, 8, even 10 years old devices and they still get serviced. Normally you pay for the service, but still you're able to use your device for a really long time, because majority of competitors, the life cycle of their devices is much shorter. First of all, they don't have the interchangeable batteries like Pulsar. So when the battery fails in 2 years or 3 years, which is quite normal for any batteries, you're basically forced to send the whole device back to the factory so that the battery gets changed. With Pulsar, you just buy an inexpensive battery, exchange it yourself like you do it every time, and your device is like brand new. The second thing what is also very positive with this Pulsar are the constant software updates, which you're able to upload via StreamVision app, which give you, I would say, a better optical experience every year or every 2 years. Really, really unique in this industry. If you talk about the housing still, you see that these parts, this and this, are still made out of plastic. So I would say the whole fit and finish is still not at the same level like with Axions, but all in all, great quality, and as shown in the past, I would say the best sturdiness and reliability of all thermal cameras on the market. This is really a tool which you're able to use and it will not fail. The sensor, so it has the same sensor as the previous devices in terms of resolution, 640 by 480, vanadium oxide sensor with 17 microns pitch. That means the distance between 2 pixels is 17 microns, and 50 Hertz. What is really special with this sensor is the NETD, so the noise equivalent temperature difference. This is a specification or a factor which tells you how sensitive the sensor is. And in this case, it's less than 25 millikelvins. That means that the image quality is superb for today's standards. Honestly speaking, I don't know of a single competitor on the market that would have a sensor with the same or better sensitivity in this moment. So the image quality you're able to expect from this device is just astonishing. The display on the other side is AMOLED, so that means the device will work even at temperatures like minus 25. This is the main difference compared to those devices from competitors or also other cheaper Pulsars which have LCOS devices, displays, which work only down to minus 10. So this really works down to minus 25, and like I said, this is a tool which you buy to use even in the hardest winters. If we talk about the optical performance, so the device features a 2.5 time base magnification, which can be digitally zoomed all the way up to 20. Even though for me, I'm a little bit puzzled because the non-pro version also has 2.5 time magnification with a smaller lens. So I do have to check with Pulsar if the magnification in these two devices is really the same or if it's a little bit higher on the Pro version. It would be logical because if you look at the XQ Helion Generation 2 models with a bigger lens, they have a slightly bigger magnification. The field of view is almost 220, 218 meters and 1000 meters, so really wide field of view. And the range of detection is around 1800 meters. You have 8 colors to choose from, color palettes, and normally the calibration can be automatic or semi-automatic and so on. If you're looking at this device, you probably already have some experience with this. The eyepiece offers around 15 millimeters of eye relief, and you are able to use it even if you wear glasses. So the eyepiece is still equally good as it was before. And still in terms of thermal optics or thermal scopes, it is one of the best you are able to find. honestly speaking. Okay, the menus, you see the button position, the buttons are positioned the same like an all Helion device. Is great if you're a right-hander, a little bit less if you're a left-hander, but very logical. Menu button, recording button, up and down button, and on and off button. You're also able to enter sleep mode through this button or to do a calibration. With a short press of a menu button, you get into the basic menu. With a long press, you get into advanced menu. What XP models still have and still feature is the possibility to change the lens. So you're able to remove the lens and put a different lens in it. So also the smaller lens would still work on this device. Like this. So you're always able to have one device and different lenses for different applications, even though in reality not a lot of people actually buys additional lenses, but if you have the possibility, why not? Like I said, the device has a Wi-Fi connectivity. You're able to connect it to a StreamVision app, and you're able to control all the functions through the StreamVision app. You're able to see the image, you're able to choose the magnification, to alter the settings of brightness and contrast and so on. In the box, you're also getting the manual, the cable, the charger, IPS7 battery, which holds around 10 hours almost. You can also buy IPS14 battery, which holds twice as much. Astonishing. And a carrying pouch, which was good already from the start, and I'm really glad that they never changed it because it really works well. Okay, now we came to the last part of this review, the part which we know from our statistics it's the most viewed in all of our reviews, and this is the summary, where I go through the sweet and sour of each device. So what is sweet with this device? Definitely the sensor. So 25 millikelvins of NETD is just astonishing. And in general, the Helions are really a great buy because you get interchangeable batteries, you get a really durable housing, and you get a great service. Not only great warranty, you also get a service when your warranty runs out, you're still able to count on the factory. Something what is really hard with other manufacturers of thermal optics. I also think a big plus is the use of magnesium. So the Pulsar is getting closer and closer each generation to the fit and finish of cameras. If you look at, let's say, Nikon or Canon DSLR cameras, they have a really perfect fit and finish. And Pulsar is coming really close with their devices. I believe in the next 5 years they will be there on the same level, which is really great. What is also great is that this device can be used with glasses without a problem. And that track record shows that Helions are extremely robust. So no matter what you're doing with them, they work. Even if you throw them into the water, they will still work, they will not fail. So the longevity of the device is just, I would say, out of this, out of all competition, because majority of competitors which have rubber and plastic housings and so on, and no software updates and built-in batteries, they will not live. The life cycle of the device will be much shorter than with Pulsar Helions. Okay, what could have been done better? What is sour? I think that the naming, definitely. It's confusing even for ourselves, which we work with thermal optics every day. So it would be much easier if this would be called Helion Generation 3 XP50 Pro. Because now you have Helion 2 XP50 and you have Helion XP50 Pro. And you have completely two different devices. No magnesium, different sensor, different lens, different display. So the naming is a bit confusing, I would say. This is the first thing. The second thing is the device is quite big, even though honestly speaking sometimes it's easier to handle bigger devices with buttons like this, with this clear separations between buttons. You're even able to use these devices with gloves in really low temperatures and so on. All the controls are really big and so on. So the size it's hard to say it's a minus. For some serious use, professional use and so on, this size is probably, this form factor is the best. But still, when you look at the Axions from Pulsar, how small they are, maybe the size could have been altered in a way. Last but not least, this device has an image boost feature, which is turned off as default. And I believe this is, I'm not sure, maybe it's from series to series, from delivery to delivery. At the beginning, at least, these devices have a image boost set to off as a default. So when you buy a Pulsar, please check that image boost is on, because the image quality is so much better. And I believe that they will change in the future, definitely, that all devices will come in the box with image boost turned on. Apart from that, there is not really a lot of minuses. Honestly speaking, when you look at the quality of the image, when you look at the build quality, when you look at the servicing in Europe, made in Europe, and so on, I believe that this device even have a price point which is really great. Because honestly speaking, they just lowered the price of the normal XP50 Helion 2, and they put the Pro at the same level of price as the non-Pro model was before. And this is astonishing, because everybody else in this industry raises their prices each year. With Pulsar, every new device, every better device gets either the same or lower price. This is something what is unimaginable to any other brand, and I think that this is the reason why Pulsar is one of the main, I would say, powers behind this thermal revolution in the industry of outdoor and hunting. Because they lowered the prices of the whole market, because all the competitors also have to lower the prices when Pulsar comes out with an astonishing device for a lower price. And that means that more and more people are able to buy thermals because they are becoming more accessible. And I think we really have to appreciate this from Pulsar. You're getting a great device for a really great price. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope I covered everything. If I forgot anything, if you have any additional questions, please use the comments below. Send us an email, call us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye.